all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Hey there, your yard took a real beating this summer. Luckily, Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard has your back. Just feed your grass with Scott's again this fall when the air is cool and the soil is warm. It's the perfect time to give your lawn a boost. If you do, Winter Guard will give your yard the nourishment it needs to help weak, thin grass recover and support root growth, giving you a greener, more resilient lawn both now and next spring. Guaranteed. Grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard today. You'll be back to barbecuing in no time. This is a Scott's Yard.
Hey parents, we all try to be extra careful with our children in the car, but then we get an important call or text. Remember, our children are watching. Make every drive a good example. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
The Bossman Show. We're here with James Jones, coach of the Yale Bulldogs out of the Ivy League, here with us here at State Farm Arena for the Hawks take on the Heat tonight. Coach Jones, how you doing, sir? Coach, you there with us?
I got you.
Oh, yeah. How you doing up there at Yale, man, up there in New Haven today?
Doing great. Just got out of practice. Feeling good going forward.
Yes, indeed, Coach. You're heading into year 21 leading the Bulldogs, Coach. What do you feel has been like your greatest accomplishment since you've been at Yale since 1999?
Well, again, I was actually asked that question the other night, and it's because my greatest accomplishment is having every single one of my guys graduate. And having that kind of track record, having everyone graduate and never have a guy transfer to another place makes me feel good about what we're doing here.
Yes, indeed. That's a great accomplishment, having a guy transfer, man. That's absolutely amazing in today's world of the transfer portal. Guys getting upset, wanting to go elsewhere, yearning for more playing time or whatever. I mean, that's amazing.
No question. So I feel great about that and looking forward to another really good year.
Yes, indeed, Coach. You all won 22 games last season. So what did you and your staff prioritize as you went into April, May, June, July, and August to build for practice starting here in late September, early October as you get ready to tip off next week?
Well, at the end of the year last year, we still had a pro prospect in Miyeoni. He was still on our roster, and we were looking forward to having him back. He had his name in the NBA draft, but we didn't know what was going to happen with that. So we were preparing for, the season with him. And, long behold, he gets drafted, and he's on the Utah Jazz roster as one of the 13 guys with NBA contracts. So we don't have him, so we have to shift gears and play a little differently than we intended. But that's going well, and we got some guys who didn't get a chance to play a lot last year because of the talent that we have, and now they'll have their chance.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, now speaking of some of those guys who have a chance now, for our listening audience who may not be familiar with your roster, who are some guys Drew can be depending on starting days week to really play a big role since your guy you expecting to have is now with the Utah Jazz, who we'll see real soon here with the Hawks?
Well, you know what? We had a bunch of guys that played. Well, we had some guys that played a lot last year. Jordan Bruner, Azar Swain, and Paul Atkinson. We had basically 7 starters, and 2 of those guys, Azar and Paul, were sophomores last year. They came off the bench to help us, but they, played starters minutes, and they were a big part of who we were and what we were doing. So those 3 guys are back, and I expect a great deal out of them. And then, we have some sophomores, guys that didn't get a chance to play last year: Matt Cotton, Isaiah Kelly, Ezra Dike, Jake Langford, and all guys that will be in the mix and to help us this coming season. I'm looking forward to them. And, specifically Matt Cotton and Ezra Dike are 2 guys that I expect to come in and play a lot and help us. And Austin Williams, who's a senior who hasn't played a lot in his career, he's done a great job for us thus far. So I'm really excited for him in his senior year to take off and have a great year.
Now, Coach, I want to ask you about recruiting in the Ivy League. I know it's a little bit different from recruiting off most schools in D1. So how do you go about going after a player to bring into your program, knowing the academic requirements that Yale has to get into an Ivy League school? So how do you go about trying to get guys to come in, finding guys to fit the Ivy League brand in your program, in particular up there at Yale?
Well, it's just that. We kind of vet guys academically first. So we can go out and watch kids play and like guys all we want, but if they don't meet the credentials to get into Yale, it doesn't do us any good to recruit them. So we do a great job at going out and finding guys that work academically, and then we go after those guys individually to see who's going to be guys in the mix for us. But vetting those guys academically is the first step, and my staff does a great job at narrowing the gap to find those guys for us.
Now, Coach, you all do more on what you haven't looked at academics. Do you still go on a national scale to find young men, or do you kind of maybe work the East Coast a little bit there and some of the Midwest and maybe a little bit down south, or you go all over the nation and international as well if the fit is just right?
Yeah, we're all over the world.
Okay.
We've had kids on our team from Belgium. We have a kid that we just recruited from Turkey. So we have a bunch of kids on our roster from all over the country and all over the world. And, California, Arizona, Washington, Texas, you name it. We've had kids that have played here for Yale. And you have to do that when you're trying to find the best and the brightest around the country.
You got that right, Coach. And I saw your Ivy League games, Coach. You'll be coming down this way because you have some high major road games against Clemson right up the road here and North Carolina right up the road here from us, along some quality mid-major matchups and additionally playing Oklahoma State and Penn State in the NIT preseason tip-off. So you got a lot of quality opponents to play this year, Coach. So talk about that non-con schedule you put together for your team for you guys get into that Ivy League play there.
Yeah, I must be out of my mind, the schedule we have. We have one of the toughest schedules and non-conference schedules in Division I. And we put it together with the thought of having Miaoni on our roster. He's not here, but that's we still are scheduled to play the games, and we look forward to going out and playing our best and giving ourselves a chance to win every single one of them. We've been very good in the past of playing these high major games. We beat Miami last year. We had a game with Memphis that went to double overtime, and I'm still looking for the officials on there because I think that they were on payroll or something because it was a terrible game in terms of the way the whistle was blown for the Yale Bulldogs. But we'll take that. But we beat Miami and California last year. We've had great wins over other programs around the country. We've beaten UConn in the past. We've beaten Baylor. We've beaten Washington. So we've beaten Clemson actually. Back in 2002. So we've had a lot of good wins against quality opponents, and we expect more of the same this year.
Now, Coach, with Yale being such a national brand and knowing how much of a tough out you are, I can only imagine how hard it is to schedule games against these high major schools. I know they don't want to play you in New Haven for sure, but even getting you on the schedule to come play them, I know it has to be a pain in the rear sometimes to get guys to want to play you.
Well, I'm telling you, you got that right. We haven't had a game in the state of Connecticut in 3 years. There are 6 Division I teams other than Yale in the state, and we can't get anybody to play us. So it's one of those things that is very difficult, and trying to schedule those high major games on the road are tough. And but fortunately that we have some connections and some relationships that are built that make it a little easier for us in some respects. But overall, it's really pretty hard to find teams that want to play us.
I have to ask you, Coach. I know after all these years, you all finally have a Ivy League tournament that you all have for 4 teams there. What are your thoughts on it? Do you like it? And do you wish it was more of on a neutral ground and being over there at Penn there?
Well, you know what? I love the tournament, and last year they bounced it around. Last year the championship was at Yale, and we won it. So I was very happy for that we had in our own building, and our fans got a chance to cheer us on. But as someone who's been in the league for 20 years, and I was an assistant for 2 years prior to being a head coach, and seeing the dominance of some of the teams that came before us, having a tournament only made sense to give you another chance at winning a championship. And now everyone has that chance for the most part. It's something that's really been able to help the brand of the Ivy League. I can't tell you how many people have told me that they saw our championship game on television last year from all over the country. And it makes it a little easier when you go on recruiting for people to know your name and face and have seen the way you play.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, I also want to ask you about this. Being an African-American coach in D1 right now, we lost a lot of African-American coaches this past carousel. A lot of guys got let go. Now their assistants or some of them out of business altogether. As an African-American coach and coaching young African-American men who can get into Yale, do you take just a big responsibility trying to mold these young men, our young black men, as we go into this cold world that we live in, giving them a little bit of a, hey, I walked in your footsteps already. I can give you a pointer here and there. I know for me, Coach, when I had a black coach or a black teacher, I responded better to them because I knew they knew what I was going through. So how do you feel about having young African-American men on your roster, helping them become better husbands, lawyers, everything in their professional lives after they hang up their shoes there?
Well, that's just it. That's what we do. That's my job. My job is like, yes, you want to win basketball games, you want to win championships and raise banners and trophies, right? That's all very important to the competitive side of what you do. But then there's the human side of trying to build the minds and bodies of young men to be great people and to prepare them for the rest of their lives. And we talk about all the time that Yale and making a decision to come to Yale is for the next 40 or 50 years of your life. It's not just the next 4. And when I recruit young men that have been offered scholarships from high major schools, what I like to try to approach them with and have them understand, if they make their decision not to come to Yale, they're basing on their decision on things that won't help them 40 years from now. And being someone who's, I'm 55 years old and have been around for a bit and have an understanding of how the world works, trying to get that across to these young men to try to help them make their lives better is something that we do every day. And it doesn't always resonate with young men that this is the best opportunity for them, but those that do, they seek us out and their lives are better for it.
Yes, indeed. And that's the human factor of it, Coach. I feel like that some coaches use up players' eligibility, but don't care about them as young men and people. And then hearing you that you care about, I did research about you. I knew you cared about your players, and it's just more. You want to win games, like you said, but it's about that people relationship and building young men to go down society for years to come.
No question. And again, like as whenever I lay down and whenever I pass. I will go to my grave knowing that I tried to help young men become better. And then I don't coach women, otherwise it would be young women. But young people are what – this is the reason why I've gotten to coaching. I have some shortcomings as a player, but there are a lot of lessons that I learned in life about playing the game of basketball, and I try to instill those into my team and try to help them with the rest of their lives. And, the best thing about my job is the relationships I have with my players once they graduate. I've had over 100 kids that have played for me, and being able to be in their lives and to know when they're getting married and having kids and being invited to their weddings, that's what makes it real special.
Now, Coach, what has been your key to longevity, being in one place over 20 years? So what's been the key to that longevity, staying at Yale for so long in the world where coaches change jobs all the time?
Well, Thomas Beckett was my initial athletic director. He just retired last year. And having someone who has confidence in who you are and what you do is really important. We've been really good the last 5 years here at Yale. We won more games than any team in the league. We won more championships and gone to the NCAA more than any other team in our league. But it wasn't always like that. It took the time to build. When I took over the program at Yale, there were 310 Division I programs, and Yale was 308. So that means we were not very good. So it took time to build this program, and having someone who believed in who you are and what you were doing was really important. And Thomas Beckett was that for me. And that's one of the main reasons why I've been able to be here so long and have this tenure.
That's what I got for you, coaches, is who has been some coaches that really helped mold you as a person professionally, and who you still talk to in the business now that really gives you a little boost whenever you need it, when you some come across your table that you need to kind of go to somebody about it?
Well, you know what? Unfortunately, I've gotten into this on my own in a lot of respects. The two guys that I worked for, Dr. Richard Sowers would be the first guy. I played for him at Albany, and he gave me my first job. And I talked to him probably, half dozen times a year throughout the season about stuff. But after that, the other people I worked for, one of them passed away. Larry Hunter was the head coach at Ohio University. I was under him. But, I've been a head coach for most of my career. My younger brother, Joe Jones, the head coach at Boston University, and we share a lot together going back and forth. And he would be the main guy that I speak to about stuff going on. And I'm mostly mentoring him as an older brother. And I'm fortunate to have a great staff that we're able to put our heads together to make our program work.
Well, Coach Jones, I wish you the best of luck. I know we're not the biggest fans down here of Clemson and Carolina, so we'll be cheering for you down here in Atlanta for sure when you come down to play those teams, because we're not big fans of them down here. So best of luck to you, Coach. Always good to see African-American coaches do well in the business, man. We'll call you again down the road, talk to you, okay? Okay, Coach?
Listen, I appreciate you. You be good now.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
All right, that's James Jones here on the Bossman Show.
From the L to the O to the C to the E, when the guys are strong and the girls are free.
Hip hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
A gorgeous tan from Suntan City gives you an inner glow that relights the fire when you run into your first crush.
Vicky, who was that?
An old boyfriend.
Lucky you just tanned at Suntan City.
Lucky he's single. We're doing lunch tomorrow.
Won't be single for long then.
During Tour of the City, try all 5 tans, including spray tan, for just $4.99. Restrictions may apply. Click to buy now.
Suntan City, let yourself shine.
When you're a teen, you finally get to make some of your own decisions. Who are you going to hang out with? What do you want to be? Are you going to glance at that text while driving? Remember, a split second is all it takes for something tragic to happen. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. Only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.